Hey, all right. So we're going to try something different with this one, and we'll see how it works. We're going to just do it live while driving, instead of just shooting video while driving. Why? I don't know. We'll figure it out. But this is the trailer part, so stay tuned. Okay, so title of this video is "You're Not Going to Solve Everything," and well, you're not. You know, one of the things is, especially from a guy's point of view, it's been told, and I can see that it's probably true. You know, we want to fix things. We want to solve things. We want to be able to solve things. We want to be able to solve things and fix things because in the deep recesses of our subconscious, there's a possibility that, you know, I might become irrelevant if all of a sudden I can't fix something. I can't solve something. It's a little crooked. That's better. And so we get caught up in doing that. Especially the danger, maybe I'm doing that backwards. The danger especially could be that what you were trying to fix or what you were trying to solve may not be what you do, or what you, what you do. May not be your specialty. May not be the focus of what your brand, your business, your thing is about. You may not be good at it. And so you end up wasting a whole lot of time and maybe other resources, money, focus on what you do, on, yes, I said do. Focus on, your customers. You rob the energy from someplace else. I mean, it's a yin and a yang type thing, right? You're going to expend energy here. Well, you got to take that energy is going to be at the expense of something else. But we get caught up in the trap of, I'm not going to solve, I have to solve this. If I don't solve this, I'll look less in the eyes of my customers or my potential customers or friends or family or, whatever. And the thing is, you can't always solve everything. You're not going to solve everything, so you should stop trying to solve everything. Now, does that mean that you should never try to fix something? Well, maybe. Maybe. It's, it really comes down to self-awareness. Being self-aware, being aware of who you are, being comfortable with who you are and what it is that you are and what you know. And so, it has a lot, it feeds, and that's, being uncomfortable is feeding into fear. And you just need to know that it's okay, that you can't solve everything. You need to be okay with knowing that, I see this a lot as having a background in IT. I've seen it a huge amount, a whole lot. Excuse me. Of damage being done because in the IT field, for some reason, especially when it comes to IT repair, technicians and stuff, they fear not being good enough. They would rather do something and be wrong than to actually, just pass it along and say, I can't do this. And you can cause a lot of damage. You can cause a lot of harm. And that's true for anywhere. So I know I keep repeating and going on. So what do you do if you look? So here's the danger, the pitfalls of you trying to solve the things that you really just shouldn't. Maybe you should pay somebody else. Maybe you should hand it off to somebody else and be able to move on and grow in the area that you are already in. Now, like I say, you can learn stuff. You can always learn new things. Some people adapt or pick up or learn or whatever you want to call it faster than others or easier than others. Sometimes things just seem to come. But that's only in certain areas, if we're all going to be honest. Nobody can be great in everything. I know people try. I know people will sit there and say, oh, I can. But you can't. You can't be an expert in something that you've never had any experience in. Expertise comes from experience, both the failures and the successes. Expertise comes from time. That's it. You can't. There's no class that you can take to become an expert. There's nothing that you can purchase that'll amp you up. You're not a computer. You're not going to get a larger engine size to get more horsepower type deal. That's not going to happen. If you're working out, I see a bunch of people. They get into a fitness routine, and all of a sudden, they have some success, and then they become an expert. That's not the way that works. So the dangers, the pitfalls can be that you become fragmented, and you don't become successful at anything at all. Instead of trying to be great at what it is that you do and having focus in the area that it is that you do, you become fragmented and separate, and you don't really know what it is that you do. Other people, they start pulling you apart, and it's a time waster. Really, nothing more than that. So what can you do to prevent it? Learn to identify, and that's a practice in itself. Learn to start to pick up on, okay, this is an area that I'm not comfortable in. Maybe start setting time limits. Hey, listen, I'm not comfortable in this. This is not something I normally do, but I can give it a try, and set a dedicated time limit, whether it be minutes or hours or days, depending on what it is or what it isn't is. Set time limits and adhere to it. When the timer goes off, when the alarm sounds, when the goal mark, when you arrive at it, stop. If you haven't completed. Now, the tough part is that would be, having some progress and then getting to the time limit and it being, well, I'm almost there. Or I've learned so much that I've got, just a little bit more and I know I can get it. Stop. Just go ahead and stop and pass it off. Pass off what the progress that you've had. Get somebody else to do whatever it is that you can do, and you will. What it does is it starts to teach you. Yeah, I could probably do this, but I wouldn't have it done in this amount of time. There's the backup beeps. I wouldn't have it done in this amount of time, so I can't. I know that I can't sit there and do. I know that it. Like I say, it's a muscle. It's a virtual muscle. It's a muscle of self-control and self-awareness that you will learn to figure out a little bit more, a little faster the next time. And then a little faster the next time. And then eventually you'll just get to the point where it'll be like, I know that I can do these things, and you come across something that you can't solve, and you can't solve it because you know that you can't solve it. because you're not an expert in that area. You have no expertise in that area. And you will discover quickly, hey, okay, yeah, I know that I can't do this. Oh, I've come across this, and start finding a solution outside of you trying to be the solution. Find a solution, and that way, what you will discover is, even though I've titled this, You Can't Solve Everything, and I'm talking about you can't solve everything, you will have solved your problem by finding a solution outside of you trying to be the solution. See how that works out? It kind of balances. It's dangerous. It's a slippery slope that you have to try and get away from. But it's an important thing. You don't see, if you want examples, you don't see. Well, you see examples of both. Even in the big world, this especially should ring true for small business owners rather than large businesses or brands that are out there, because you see them all the time trying to be everything. You can't be the Walmarts, the Targets of the world, the Amazons of the world, if you don't have the resources, especially the money, the teams and everything like that. These companies, these big box brands, a lot of times they don't try and solve it. They just find the solution out there and they acquire it and they bring it in, and that makes them. And if you can afford to do that, then hey, start doing that. That's something that may or may not work for you. You don't see the Zaxby's or the Chick-fil-A's out there selling burgers. People may want a burger. People may walk in and look at the menu and go, gee, no burgers? And, one solution would be for the person to go, hey, no, but let me run down to the store, buy some product to make your burger, and come back and prepare a burger, and I'll sell you a burger. And that's just, that it's not quick service. It's not going to taste right. It's probably not going to be right. You can't solve everything. That's really it. Anyway, my name's David Vaughan. I did this one differently. I went live to YouTube. So hi YouTube, comment down below, like this video, give it 2 thumbs up. If you're listening to the podcast, because I downloaded and stripped out the audio later on, leave a comment. Let's see how this one works. I want to see what the quality of the video is like. It looks great on my screen. But that's just on my screen, and that's because it's local. So anyway, I'll catch you on the next one.